welcome to another edition of the Nightly News. I'm Chris Lee here with LPNN, bringing you all the news that is news and none of the news that isn't, most of the time. All right, we've got quite a few things out here for you today. Don't forget, right now, going on as we speak at City Council, at City Hall, the City Council is having a special meeting on the, the essential air services that are going to be taking over for Great Lakes departing. They are debating right now on exactly what carrier to use, what the capacity of the planes are, and exactly what they're going to decide to do. Are we going to be getting service within the next month or by October? Don't forget that is being covered live as we speak right now by Teresa down at the City Council. So you can tune into that now or after the Nightly News. This episode is brought to you by H&R Block of Page, Arizona. Thank you very much to H&R Block of Page, Arizona, and you should also give a shout out to them because they sponsor us, which helps us get you the news in real time. All right, we've got quite a few things here for you today. Let's see, we're going to go with the first one here. The Arizona Senate has put a coal tax relief bill on hold. If you remember, a while back, we reported on a possible bill that was going through where the coal industry would be exempt from the TPT, or the transaction privilege tax here in Arizona for going to the power plant. They were working on that bill, and I've got an update on that for you right now. I'm going to go ahead and read to you here a little bit of a press release. A bill to provide tax relief for Arizona's Navajo Generating Station, or NGS, by exempting income derived from coal mining from the state's transaction privilege tax was held up in the Arizona Senate's Finance Committee, with the legislation falling one vote short of passage. The bill's sponsors are working to gain additional support before bringing it up for reconsideration in the wake of the March 14th setback. NGS is a 2,250 megawatt coal-fired power plant located on the Navajo Nation reservation near Page, Arizona. It is the largest electricity power generator in the state. NGS operates under a lease agreement with the Navajo Nation, supplying electricity to customers in Arizona, California, and Nevada. It also provides the power needed to pump water for agriculture and municipal uses from the Colorado River to Phoenix and Tucson through the Central Arizona Project. The plant is jointly owned by the Salt River Project and the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, who own the largest percentages of the installation, and the Arizona Public Service Company, Nevada Energy, and Tucson Electric Power, who have smaller shares. NGS employs more than 400 full-time staff, 90% of whom are Navajo. NGS uses coal from the Kayenta mine, operated by Peabody Western Coal Company, under lease agreements with the Navajo Nation and the Hopi tribe. The coal is delivered to NGS by a 75-mile electric railroad owned and operated by the plant. 99% of the mine's 340 employees are Native American. Arizona's TPT taxes company's gross receipts in 2016 receipts in 16 separate business classifications, including mining, retail, telecommunications, and utilities. Arizona also allows municipalities to level local TPTs. HB 2003 would exempt coal from the retail and mining classification under the state TPT and any municipal TPT and sales taxes. A fiscal note prepared for HB 2003 estimated although the proposed exemptions would reduce Arizona General Fund by $9.1 million in fiscal year 2019, the ongoing revenue loss from a closed NGS would be $12.2 million. State Representative Mark Fincham from Tucson said HB 2003, he is HB 2003 sponsors, says the TPT never should have been imposed on coal mining. This is a tax elimination, said Fincham. The state does not collect a TPT on the wind, the sun, or the water, nor does it collect the tax on natural gas and nuclear fuels. So the TPT on coal never should have been laid. John Nerthert, Director of Government Relations at the Heartlands Institute, which publishes environment and climate news, testified HB 2003 would improve energy markets in the state during a hearing before Arizona House Ways and Means Committee on February 14th. Arizona's transaction privilege tax is dissimilar to how other states tax raw materials used to produce energy, such as coal, natural gas, and other fossil fuels. Nothdurft testified, sound tax policy generally abides by 4 basic principles. It is applied to a broad base, kept at a competitive low rate, it is non-distorting and non-rate setting, and the regulatory processes are completely transparent to the state's citizens. Arizona's transaction privilege tax fails on at least 3, if not all 4 of these principles, Nothdurft said. Nothdurft also testified that failure to implement the proposed tax reform might cause NGS to close, which would increase energy prices here in Arizona. 31% of Arizona's electricity generation comes from coal, but this would significantly decrease if NGS is closed, said Nothdurft. This is a significant problem since the cost of coal electricity is much cheaper than other forms of electricity, especially wind and solar, which are heavily subsidized and yet remain more expensive. Fred Palmer, a senior fellow at the Heartland Institute, says ending TPT for coal mining would benefit all of Arizona. HB 2003 is designed to help extend the commercial life of NGS, a crucial resource for the economic future of the Navajo Nation and the Hopi tribe, as well as water users, electric consumers, and agricultural interests in Arizona, Palmer said. Since a closed NGS will produce no mining tax revenues, opposition to the bill can only be construed as anti-native, anti-fossil fuels, and anti-growth, he said. A recent study by utility consulting firm Quanta Technology confirms NGS is critical to the power supply in the Southwest. The report states closing NGS in 2019 would result in power deficiencies which could evolve into potential voltage collapse and outages, load shedding triggers, potential rotating brownouts, failing transformers or transmission lines, and equipment damage, affecting Phoenix, Flagstaff, other large Arizona cities, and California cities such as Lugo and Shandon. Although HB 2003 stalled in the Senate Finance Committee, Carlisle Begay, a Navajo and former Arizona State Senator for the district where NGS is located, says he is confident HB 2003 will eventually pass. Finance Committee member Warren Peterson, who initially withheld support for the bill, which kept it from moving out of the committee, now supports the proposal, Begay says. In addition, we will have enough Democrat votes to pass the bill through the Senate, Begay said. The commitment will be in place in case we need it. So that is the update on the bill for the Navajo Generating Station. Let's see, we have some comments here. Oh, Gina Glover says hello. Hello, Gina. Nice to see you out there. And hello, Mario. Nice to see you as well. All right, we have a few other local news pieces for you here. We have some news releases from the NPS, the National Park Service. Rainbow Bridge National Monument has been designated as an international dark sky sanctuary. Rainbow Bridge National Monument and the International Dark Sky Association are excited to announce the designation of Rainbow Bridge National Monument as an international dark sky sanctuary. This designation is the first of its kind in the National Park Service and distinguishes Rainbow Bridge National Monument for the quality of its naturally dark skies and the site's cultural heritage. This designation is an important step to ensure we protect the entirety of the landscape at Rainbow Bridge National Monument, which is sacred to many of the Native American tribes in the area, said William Schott, superintendent of Rainbow Bridge National Monument and Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. We're thrilled to be the first National Park Service unit to receive this specific designation, as this will only fuel our night sky preservation efforts. Located in south-central Utah, Rainbow Bridge National Monument is one of the smallest units in the National Park Service and encompasses just 160 acres of land. It is accessible only by boat on Lake Powell or by backpacking in from Navajo Mountain. At least 6 area Native American tribes, including the Hopi, Zuni, Navajo, San Juan, Southern Paiute, Kaibab Paiute, and Ute Mountain Ute consider the site sacred. IDA established the International Dark Sky Places program in 2001 to encourage the protection of natural dark night skies around the globe through responsible lighting policies and public outreach and education. Rainbow Bridge National Monument joins a host of national parks on the Colorado Plateau with international dark sky park designations recognized by the IDA and celebrated for their naturally dark skies. We are pleased to honor and respect the status of Rainbow Bridge as the first traditional cultural property accredited through the IDA International Dark Sky Places program, said International Dark Sky Association Executive Director J. Scott, that's a good one there, Firebend. We'll go with that. I'm probably pronouncing it horribly wrong. I do apologize. In the span of this remarkable natural bridge, we see symbolically represented the arch of the Milky Way across the night sky, a reminder of the long-held value of both Rainbow Bridge and the natural night sky to Native peoples of the area. The designation will be celebrated with astronomy events throughout the year, the first of which will be held on April 21st, 2018 at the Lake Powell Resort in Glen Canyon National Recreation Area's Wahweap District from 7:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. in Mountain Standard Time. This event coincides with the final day of International Dark Sky Week, the first day of National Park Week, and the year's second National Park Service free entrance day. In addition to these special events, visitors to the park can participate in a variety of astronomy programming ranging from star parties to solar viewing. These programs provide visitors an opportunity to learn about Glen Canyon skies and the continued efforts of the National Park Service and International Dark Sky Association to preserve natural night skies. Once again, that was a press release from the National Park Service. All right, we also have another news release from the National Park Service. Oh, I clicked a button. That is never a good sign. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. All right, well, while we're waiting. Oh, there we are. Here we are. Spring season begins at Glen Canyon National Recreation Area. Enjoy free park entrance on April 21st for the National Park Week. The spring season has begun at Glen Canyon National Recreation Area and Rainbow Bridge National Monument, and free park entrance this Saturday makes it a great time to visit. Sorry, I'm just checking out some of the comments over here. We do apologize if I'm doing any kind of max headroom thing, but with the wind the way it is out there, it does affect the internet sometimes. All right, let's see what we have here. Let's see. Okay, so there is free park entrance this Saturday. It makes it a great time to visit. Many land and water-based activities are available. Find all the information to plan your next adventure and the details about seasonal hours of operation at various parks and concession facilities on the National Park Service website. All National Park Service sites that charge an entrance fee will provide free entrance on Saturday, April 21st, the first day of National Park Week. The April 21st fee waiver includes entrance fees only. Other fees, such as boating permits, camping, tours, concession, and fees collected by third parties, are not included. For those camping within 1/4 mile of Lake Powell shoreline, please follow Lake Powell Pure practices by properly disposing of human and pet waste. Visitors are encouraged to know and follow guidelines for desert and boating safety. Speaking of boating safety, we have a segment coming up on that. Stay tuned. Life-threatening dangers to avoid include heat stress, swimming at marinas, flash floods, cliff jumping, and carbon monoxide. Quagga mussels have been confirmed both above and below the dam. All boaters and fishermen are reminded to clean, drain, and dry their boats and all equipment after contacted with infested waters. Specific information about applicable state laws is available for Utah and Arizona. Rainbow Bridge National Monument was established before the NPS in 1910, and Glen Canyon National Recreation Area joined the family in 1972. While Lake Powell is one of the largest man-made lakes in North America, it is only 13% of Glen Canyon National Recreation's area. The recreation area stretches for hundreds of miles from Lee's Ferry in Arizona to the Orange Cliffs of southern Utah, encompassing scenic vistas, geologic wonders, proposed wilderness areas, and a vast panorama of human history. Once again, that was from the National Park Service, so there's some good information from them. We're going to go ahead and go on with some more local news. They were talking about boater safety, and Lake Powell News Network, LPNN, that would be me, and Lois Lane, has partnered with the Lake Powell Yacht Club to bring you a boating safety segment in our nightly and it'll be weekly probably for now, and maybe even daily coming up soon. We'll find out. Let me see if I can get this thing to work here. Hold on just 1 second. There we go. Haha, it works. All right, let's see. We have some more comments here. If Mario says there's a little breeze here in Phoenix and it's cloudy. Well, up here in Page, Mario, it is extremely windy. I believe I saw a few dog kites as people were trying to walk them by. All right, so this is from the Lake Powell Yacht Club. This is a boater's safety checklist. I'm just going to go through this real quick here. This was provided by the Lake Powell Yacht Club. They want you guys to be careful out there on the water. They are the boater's voice here for the lake. So, we have boater safety's checklist. I'm going to scroll through this. Wearable life jackets sized correctly in usable condition for each passenger. If your best canine friend likes a good boat ride, it is a good idea to find a life jacket for them as well. Make sure you have flares. Make sure that you can read the expiration date and that it is not expired. Fire extinguishers. Check your gauge. If it is over 12 years old, it is time for a replacement. Check your brand. There have been many recalls of the Kitty brand that were sent out last fall, so keep an eye out for that. Test your alarms. There should be smoke, carbon monoxide, fume, and bilge alarms. Check your running lights, the ones that you have to turn on at night when you're driving your boat. Spare bulbs are recommended to keep on your boat. Check and update a chart plotter software. There should be paper charts on hand as well, because you never know when the electronics will fail, and you need those maps to find your way. And you should always, always, always have a first aid kit. And make sure that you replenish items that were used last season, and check the expiration dates on any medications or anything else that might be in there. As you can see here, to find more safety tips, go to safetyseal.net. We would like to thank the Lake Powell Yacht Club for giving us this checklist and working with us to provide you with information about safety on Lake Powell. All right, let's go ahead and see what else we have here for you tonight. Let's see. Okay, in other local news, we have a business conference coming up from the Chamber of Commerce. Let's see. I'm going to read a little bit of what we have here. There is the business conference is for current, past, and future business owners and managers. It's also for employees or entrepreneurs or anyone thinking about starting a business. Students interested in business, commerce, hospitality, and tourism, and anybody interested in or supportive of the local business climate. Yes, I'm sorry, I just read another comment we have here from Gina. She says, also let someone know where you're going. That is absolutely true, Gina. It's very good advice. If you're going somewhere for an extended period of time, make sure you let somebody know. Because if you don't show up, then they can tell the authorities and they can come looking for you. If no one knows you're missing, They won't know to look for you. It's a good point. All right, let's see. There are going to be highlights for this business conference. There's going to be local speakers sharing experiences and stories. Let's see what else we have here. 3 interest session tracks focusing on specific topics: building your business, innovation and planning, and your workforce. Updates from the City of Page, SRP, and the Navajo Generating Station, NCANAB, in Kane County. Vendors who support businesses through their products and services. It's going to be an excellent networking opportunity, and conversations and planning as they look to the future of Page. Let's see, this is going to be, let me look for a date here. There we are. It is $45 for the conference fee per participant. To register, contact the Chamber, Page Lake Powell. Let's see, students are encouraged to attend the conference. Contact the Chamber to register at no cost. So if you're a student out there interested in the business environment in Page, this is a great opportunity to not only meet local business owners and entrepreneurs, you can network and maybe find out some information and learn something. Don't forget, it's always a good thing to learn something new. All right, let's see what else we have for you here today. From the Office of the Governor, he says in a Facebook post, thanks to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, State Home Construction Grant, #Arizona will now be able to expand veteran homes in Flagstaff and Yuma. This assistance will ensure we are able to provide the necessary services to the veterans who have courageously defended our freedoms. From the Arizona Department of Veterans Services. Once again, that is from the governor. All right, what else do we have here? Oh, also, if you didn't know, there was the hashtag Red for Ed movement. They are actually going to be voting on whether they're still doing a walkout. The governor did make some concessions and had a speech that we shared and commented on earlier this week. We will be contacting our local representatives for the hashtag Red for Ed event and see what's going on with the walk-ins / walkouts that have been planned. We don't know if what the governor has done has been enough or what their decision is going to be. But when we do find out, we will make sure to let you guys know. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our calendar of events. I'm not going to go through the entire spiel of registered events, but there are a lot of them. Go to lakepowellnews.com and check out our local calendar of events to find out all the details and find all the links you need to register for all of the events that are happening here in Page, Arizona. I'm just going to go through a brief one here of the stuff that is going on tomorrow, the 17th. Make sure we click the right day. All right. The biggest one that is going on right now, the online housing survey. The City of Page has commissioned an outside company to come in and do a housing survey of Page, Arizona, and find out what our needs are. It's very important. If you have an opinion on this, make sure you take that survey because this outside company wants your opinion and wants to know what you think. They are compiling all of that data. So if you want your voice heard, make sure you fill out that survey. Also, tomorrow, tax day. Tomorrow is tax day. It wasn't the 15th this year. They got a late start, but it is tomorrow. So don't forget to get those taxes filed in. The tax man wants his money. Make sure you get that stuff filled in. And don't forget, this show is sponsored by H&R Block here in Page, Arizona at 608 Elm Street. Stop in, say hello, say thank you for supporting your local news network so that we can get you the real news in real time. All right, enough of a plug there. Let's see what else we have here. At 10 a.m., we have on-site story time at Fiesta Mexicana, at the Fiesta Mexicana here in Lake Powell. All right, what else do we have? At 10:30, there is yoga at the community center. At 1 p.m., there is the Upcycling Empty Wine Bottles event happening at the Page Public Library, where basically you take things that would normally be recycled and turn them into craft projects. That's from 1 to 4:45 at the Page Public Library. Let's see, what else do we have here? At 1 p.m., we have bingo at the community center. And at 3 p.m., we have STEAM at the Page Public Library, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, Mathematics. The theme is going to be Cup Challenge. That'll be interesting to see what that's all about. And at 5 p.m. at the Community Center is Pilates. And don't forget, that is free to everyone. Just show up on down there and say hello. All right, what else do we have? Now, on to the weather. If you didn't notice, a little tiny bit windy out there today here in Page, Arizona. Just a little bit. As you can see here, this bottom chart, in case you didn't catch it on the last few, this bottom chart with the arrows is the wind speed and direction. Going on right now, we're about right here. I don't know if you can see that line. Hopefully you can. It says 21 miles an hour. Believe it or not, the wind is predicted to go up from here, and it's going to get a bit closer to 30 miles an hour, and it's going to stay that way through the night. We have at 4 a.m. still over 20 miles an hour. Over tomorrow, it is slowly going to drop down, but it's not going to be completely gone until way, way later in the day, about 11 p.m. The high tomorrow is going to be 61 with a low of 41. Wednesday, almost no wind. Woo! It's going to be a high of 68 with a low of 49. On Thursday, it looks like the wind is going to be picking back up to close to 20 miles an hour with a high of 73 and a low of 43. So keep an eye out for that. Batten down the hatches. Make sure all the loose furnitures are put away. Make sure everything is secured out there. And make sure you have a leash on your dog so that it doesn't fly away if you take him for a walk. We had a little bit of that this morning. It was very interesting. All right, that is all we have for you tonight in the Nightly News. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, if this helps you, or if you think it'll help anybody else out there, make sure you share, comment, and like on every single one of these posts, because that helps us get the news to you in real time. And these Nightly News broadcasts are not broadcast just here on Facebook. They're also broadcast on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Periscope. So, if you don't like Facebook, or you know someone else that doesn't like Facebook, we're on the other platforms as well. Thank you again for joining us, and thank H&R Block for sponsoring us. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Thank you very much for watching.